Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks car commentary for Sunday, October the 22nd. I'm in my car right now, in between a few errands on a relatively busy Sunday, so I want to check in with this quick update. In a few hours, the Canucks will take on the Detroit Red Wings in Game 4 of their 5-game road trip, and they're playing at Little Caesars Arena. And I just hope that the Canucks performance isn't too cheesy, like my jokes. Thank you very much. Canucks have started their road trip off well, getting 4 out of a possible 6 points. Victories in Ottawa and Buffalo, and they lost against Boston. And later today, Eric Branson draws back into the lineup after serving his 1-game suspension, and that means Alex Biega is out, and Jacob Markstrom will be starting in net. And today I wanted to talk about ice time, and in particular the ice time of Henrik and Daniel Sedin. Now, we knew that this is their last year of the contract. We know that they're likely going to retire, although they haven't made that final decision at the end of the season. So the plan was to slowly phase them out and replace them as first-line players in the Canucks organization. But I don't think anyone would have guessed that the phase-out would have happened this quickly. Because you look at total ice time for all the Canucks skaters, the 21 players that have played so far, and they're actually sitting at 14th and 16th in average ice time. Now I get it, you take away the 7 or 8 defensemen that have played, because obviously the D-man play more because there are more of them. So you look at the forwards only, and of the 13 forwards that have played, Henrik's right in the middle at 7th, and Daniel's at 9th. So the Sedins are in the middle or near the bottom half of forwards ice time, which is crazy. Henrik's at 14.5 minutes, and then there's Derek Dorsett, and then there's Daniel at 14 minutes and 10 seconds. And then there's only 4 forwards underneath them. Alex Burmistrov, Thomas Vanek, Louis Eriksson, and of course Jake Virtanen, who's on his 1 minute more per game than last game plan that I've talked about on Twitter. So look at that. Guys like Sutter and Granlund and Horvat and Berchi and Gagne are getting more minutes than the Sedins. Now, maybe this is part of Travis Green's master plan to keep them fresh for January and February so that they have their legs under them, especially if the Canucks are actually pushing for a playoff spot. Then it would make sense that the Sedins they don't get worn down and they're ready for that push. But it's still fascinating to see them at the bottom of the ice time charts, and especially when it comes to the third period, and that they're not Travis Green's go-to guys. And that's why I always say, let's not get too caught up in how the lines are listed or labeled, even on Twitter, where it always has Sedin, Granlund, or Sedin, Virtanen, because Travis Green doesn't care about first, second, third, fourth line. We've seen the way he spreads out his ice time. We've seen the way he cares more about a checking line, a shutdown line, an energy line, a scoring line, and how he plays his matchups that way, almost on a game-to-game basis. So all I'm saying is it's been fascinating to see the way that the Sedin's ice time has dropped, to see them at the bottom of the ice time charts, and to their credit, they haven't complained, because I think they knew that this day was coming. All I'm saying is I don't think anyone knew that it was going to come this fast. Lastly, as the Canucks go into Detroit, want to give one quick recognition or shout, not even a shout out, but it's interesting that they're facing their ex-teammate David Booth. And I mentioned David Booth because, as many of my Twitter followers know, he was one of my favorite players when he played for the Canucks. I went out and got his jersey, and I still have a David Booth jersey, a nice white Canucks jersey with a number 7 on the back. Haven't done anything with it. And I had big hopes for David Booth when he played for the Canucks, because he was a good shooter, he was a fast skater, creative enough, but he had a knee-on-knee injury. He had a knee injury pretty early in his Canucks career, and it really, I think, hampered his ability and his effectiveness going forward. And as you know, he's bounced in and out of the league since then. So David Booth has only played in 4 games this year, and his ice time is actually less than Jake Virtanen's. He's had 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 4 minutes, and 5 minutes. So it'll be interesting to see, A, if he plays today, and B, how much time he gets, and actually see if he makes any type of impact on the Detroit Red Wings and for their roster and for their team. All right, Canucks fans, that's it for today. What do you think of the Sedins' drop in ice time? Are you fine with it? Do you actually think they're being underutilized, or do you applaud Travis Green for what he's doing and the outlook he's taken and how quickly he's actually worked on cutting down their minutes? And any thoughts about David Booth? Probably not, but if so, leave them below. I'd love to read your comments. And if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel yet, I invite you to do so now. Have a great Sunday, you guys. Enjoy the game. God bless, and go Canucks go.